Hello Islanders, my name is Anissa Hilaire and I'm back again with another one of our weekly weather forecasts. Today is February 26, 2025. First things first, happy homecoming week and good luck to our men and women's basketball teams on their games tomorrow. Now moving along, we have our weather objectives for the week. We're going to be looking at some partly cloudy to sunny days, as well as a breezy week, some 70s, and then some humidity. That's just because I want to keep that there. For our issued warnings for the week, we actually don't have any, which is pretty good considering we had pretty dense fog warnings as well as a freeze watch last week. Now moving along, we have our traffic, and from Ocean to the intersection of Ennis, we're going to see a little bit of a slowdown, and then same thing as we move along Ocean to campus as well as exiting. But as we move down Ennis to Alameda or down Ennis to SPID, gonna be some pretty smooth sailing. Now moving along to Airline, down to SPID, some slowdown, same thing with Staples down to SPID. But as we move along from SPID all the way to the Crosstown Expressway and then up to downtown, we're gonna be looking at, again, some pretty smooth sailing. Just be mindful of these little construction zones throughout town. Now we have our temperature outlook. This morning was a nice cool 61 with some partly cloudy skies. Right now it is about 74 degrees and we could see the sun a lot more. On my way to class today, I only saw just a few clouds. And then moving on down to this evening, it's going to drop back down to 68 with some more clouds in the sky. And for our temperature outlook for the day, like I said, it's 74 degrees. We had a high of 78 and we had a low this morning of 61 degrees. And with this 18-mile-per-hour wind from the south-southeast direction, we're going to be looking at pretty consistent temperatures of 74. Humidity pretty mild to a little bit of discomfort, and then a little bit of rain just here and there throughout town. Now moving along to our beach forecast, since it's been pretty sunny down in Port Aransas, they have a temperature of 72, they had a high of 76, and then they'll have a low of 59. Pretty much zero rain for them, and then it's going to be a little bit breezy over there. They do have slightly higher humidity. And if you are looking to get into the water, just be careful because the National Weather Service currently says the rip currents are at a moderate rate. And now for our 7-day forecast. Right now, today, pretty sunny and then partly cloudy for the rest of the week, except for Monday where we'll see a little bit more clouds. Temperature-wise, highs in the 70s all throughout the week until we move into Tuesday where we'll see a high of 83. Rain for the week, pretty low today and then especially low for the rest of the week until we move to Monday with a slightly higher chance. Humidity wise, pretty mild to a little bit of uncomfortable, with Friday being the least uncomfortable, and then it just dances back up and forth throughout the rest of the week. And now for our moon phases, tonight is the last night of that waning crescent, and then we're going to be looking at a new moon on Thursday, and then for the remainder of the week we have a waxing crescent, which is supposed to be a time for new beginnings and growth. Now that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in,